Archangel Michael says, stop scrolling. This is your warning, don't scroll, stay right here, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, not tomorrow, not later, but right now, in this exact moment, because there are moments when the universe interrupts your routine not to scare you, but to save you from repeating something your soul already survived. And Archangel Michael is stepping forward with a calm but firm presence, saying pause, breathe, and listen, because what you're feeling lately. The subtle unease, the quiet hesitation, the strange sense that something doesn't sit right even when everything looks fine on the surface, is not imagination, it's awareness waking up. Don't scroll, this message is for you. And your heart needs this right now because you've been standing at the edge of a decision, a pattern, a relationship, or a familiar emotional loop, and you were about to step forward without realizing you've walked this path before. Listen to this, Archangel Michael doesn't come with fear, he comes with clarity, and clarity often arrives before the storm, not after it. Don't scroll, because this warning isn't loud or dramatic. It's steady, grounded, and protective, like a hand gently placed on your shoulder saying wait, look again, feel again, trust what your body and spirit are telling you. Listen to this, you didn't stumble upon this message by accident. There are no accidents when awareness is involved. This message found you because your intuition has been sending signals and you've been questioning yourself, second-guessing, wondering if you're overthinking or being too sensitive. Don't scroll. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it's perception, and your heart needs this right now because perception is what keeps you safe when logic alone can't explain what's off. Listen to this, Archangel Michael is reminding you that protection doesn't always look like rescue in the moment of danger. Sometimes it looks like a pause before the danger even forms, a feeling that something needs your attention before it grows roots. Don't scroll. You've been seeing signs. Repeating numbers, familiar dreams, sudden emotional waves, memories resurfacing without warning. And you've been brushing them aside because life keeps moving and responsibilities don't slow down. Listen to this, signs don't shout, they repeat, and repetition is the universe's way of saying pay attention. Your heart needs this right now because you're at a point where your next choice doesn't just affect today, it affects the direction of your next chapter. Don't scroll. This is not about blaming anyone or fearing the future. It's about recognizing a pattern that no longer belongs in your life, a cycle that once taught you something but no longer deserves your energy. Listen to this. Archangel Michael stands for truth and protection, and his warning is not punishment, it's permission. Permission to trust yourself, permission to slow down, permission to choose differently without guilt. Don't scroll, because guilt has kept you quiet in the past, it's kept you saying yes when your soul whispered no, and your heart needs this right now because that whisper has grown into a clear voice. Listen to this. You've been feeling torn between what you know and what you hope will change, between loyalty to the past and respect for who you've become. Don't scroll, becoming more aware doesn't make you cold or unloving, it makes you honest, and honesty is the foundation of real peace. Listen to this, Archangel Michael is not warning you about disaster, he's warning you about repetition, about stepping back into something familiar just because it's familiar, about mistaking comfort for safety. Don't scroll, safety feels calm, not confusing. And your heart needs this right now because confusion has been your signal, not your failure. Listen to this, confusion often appears when truth and habit collide, when your growth challenges old dynamics, and that tension you feel is the space where a choice is waiting to be made. Don't scroll, the universe is not rushing you, but it is asking you to be present, to stop numbing yourself with distractions, to stop explaining away your discomfort. Listen to this, discomfort is not always a problem to solve, sometimes it's guidance asking you to adjust direction. Your heart needs this right now because adjustment doesn't mean abandoning love, it means redefining it in a way that doesn't cost you your peace. Don't scroll. Archangel Michael's warning is wrapped in compassion, reminding you that you don't need to prove your worth by enduring what hurts you, you don't need to stay silent to keep the peace, and you don't need to rush decisions just to feel certain. Listen to this. Certainty grows when you honor your intuition, not when you override it. And your intuition has been speaking through your body, your emotions, your thoughts late at night when everything else is quiet. Don't scroll, because this message is for you if you've been feeling like something is about to shift, like you're standing between who you were and who you're becoming. Listen to this. That in-between space can feel uncomfortable, lonely, and uncertain, but it's also where protection shows up, where guidance becomes clear, where Archangel Michael steps in and says you don't have to walk forward blindly anymore. Your heart needs this right now because awareness is the beginning of freedom, and freedom doesn't always feel exciting at first. It often feels like a deep exhale, a release of tension you didn't realize you were holding. Don't scroll. Stay with this feeling, because this warning is not asking you to fear what's ahead. It's asking you to respect what you already know, to pause long enough to let clarity settle in. Listen to this. The universe communicates through calm certainty, not panic, and if you feel a quiet sense of recognition right now, that's your confirmation. Don't scroll. Archangel Michael is not done speaking to you. This is just the beginning of a message that unfolds as you stay present, grounded, and honest with yourself, and what comes next will make more sense when you honor this moment, because the warning isn't about stopping your life, it's about guiding it toward peace, alignment, and a future that doesn't repeat the past. And if you felt something shift as you listened, that's not coincidence, that's protection activating, and it means you were meant to hear this exactly when you did. Don't scroll, stay right here. Listen to this, because what's unfolding now is not a continuation of fear, it's the unveiling of truth, and this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, because warnings from Archangel Michael don't arrive to trap you, they arrive to free you from repeating what already drained you, and as you breathe into this moment, notice how your body responds. Because your body has been listening longer than your mind. Don't scroll. The universe doesn't speak to rush you, it speaks to ground you, and grounding is exactly what's happening now as awareness settles into your chest like a steady warmth. Listen to this. The reason this warning landed with you is because you're standing at a threshold where clarity matters more than comfort, and your heart needs this right now because comfort kept you surviving, not thriving. Don't scroll. Thriving begins when you stop mistaking familiarity for destiny. Listen to this. Destiny doesn't feel tight or confusing, it feels aligned even when it asks you to be brave, and Archangel Michael stands beside courage, not chaos. Don't scroll. If you've been noticing repeating signs like angel numbers, familiar songs playing at the right moment, names resurfacing in dreams, or sudden waves of emotion without a clear trigger, these are not distractions, they're confirmations. Listen to this. Confirmations appear when your soul is ready to receive guidance without resistance, and your heart needs this right now because resistance kept you second-guessing yourself. Don't scroll. Second-guessing was learned, not intuitive. Intuition speaks clearly but quietly, and the quiet you've been avoiding is exactly where answers live. Listen to this. Answers don't come from scrolling past your discomfort. They come from sitting with it until it reveals what it's protecting you from. Don't scroll. Protection doesn't always look like a barrier. Sometimes it looks like a pause that prevents you from stepping into a familiar pain. Listen to this. Familiarity is seductive. It promises predictability, but predictability is not peace when the pattern includes sacrifice of your emotional safety. Don't scroll. Emotional safety is not optional anymore, it's foundational, and your heart needs this right now because exhaustion is a sign of misalignment, not weakness. Listen to this. Misalignment shows up when your values outgrow your environment, your awareness outpaces the roles you've been playing, and your growth disrupts expectations placed on you long ago. Don't scroll. Disruption is not destruction, it's evolution, and evolution requires honesty. Listen to this. Honesty begins when you admit to yourself that something no longer feels right even if it once did. Don't scroll. You're allowed to change your mind when you gain new awareness. And your heart needs this right now because staying loyal to outdated versions of yourself keeps you stuck in lessons already learned. Listen to this. Archangel Michael's presence feels steady because steadiness is what your nervous system needs after prolonged tension. Don't scroll. Tension became normal when boundaries were ignored or softened to keep peace, but peace that requires self-erasure is not peace. Listen to this. True peace feels expansive, calm, and respectful, and if imagining distance, clarity, or firmer boundaries brings relief instead of fear, that's information. Don't scroll. Information is guidance, and guidance deserves action. Listen to this. Action doesn't mean confrontation, it means alignment, choosing responses that honor your energy instead of draining it. Don't scroll. Alignment begins with awareness of how interactions affect you physically and emotionally. Listen to this. If your breath tightens, your shoulders tense, or your thoughts race around certain people or decisions, that's not coincidence, that's communication. Don't scroll. Communication doesn't always come in words, it comes in sensations, and your heart needs this right now because you've been rationalizing signals instead of trusting them. Listen to this. Rationalization keeps you looping, trust moves you forward. Don't scroll. Moving forward doesn't require knowing every step, it requires honoring the next right one. Listen to this. The next right step may be slowing down, creating space, or choosing silence over explanation. Don't scroll. Silence is powerful when it's intentional, not avoidant. Listen to this. Intentional silence creates room for truth to rise without argument. Don't scroll. Arguments drain energy, clarity restores it, and your heart needs this right now because restoration is overdue. Listen to this. Restoration doesn't come from fixing others, it comes from choosing yourself consistently. Don't scroll. Consistency is what teaches the universe you are ready for better. Listen to this. Better doesn't always arrive loudly, it arrives steadily, replacing anxiety with calm, confusion with understanding, and obligation with choice. Don't scroll. Choice is returning to you now, and with choice comes responsibility, not to others' expectations, but to your own well-being. Listen to this. Well-being is not selfish, it's sacred. Don't scroll. Sacred things are protected, and Archangel Michael's warning is protection activated, not punishment delivered. Listen to this. Protection feels reassuring, not threatening. And if you feel a sense of calm settling as you listen, that's confirmation. Don't scroll. Confirmation doesn't demand urgency, it invites reflection. Listen to this. Reflection allows you to see patterns clearly without emotional charge. Don't scroll. Emotional charge clouds judgment, clarity sharpens it, and your heart needs this right now because clarity is what breaks cycles. Listen to this. Cycles end when awareness meets action, when you choose differently not out of fear, but out of respect for yourself. Don't scroll. Respect is the language your soul understands, and when you speak it through your choices, life responds in kind. Listen to this. Responses may include distance, changes, or endings that feel bittersweet, but relief will accompany them. Don't scroll. Relief is your sign you're aligned. Listen to this. Alignment doesn't require approval from everyone involved. It requires peace within you. Don't scroll. Peace within you is the compass guiding your next chapter. Listen to this. The universe is not testing you, it's trusting you to act on what you now know. don't scroll. Knowledge without action fades, but embodied awareness transforms. Listen to this. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it begins the moment you stop ignoring what feels true. Don't scroll. Truth doesn't shout, it resonates, and if something inside you feels settled, grounded, or affirmed right now, that's resonance. Listen to this. Stay with that feeling, because it's guiding you toward decisions that protect your energy, honor your growth, and align your future with who you are becoming. Don't scroll. This message continues to unfold as you remain present, and what you choose next will reflect the clarity you've just received, because Archangel Michael's warning was never about stopping you, it was about steering you toward peace, and peace is where your next chapter begins. Don't scroll. Stay with me. Listen to this carefully, because what's being revealed now is the quiet turning point you've been asking for without realizing it, and this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because awareness doesn't arrive all at once, it arrives in layers, and this layer is about integration, about letting what you now understand finally settle into how you move through the world. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't rush healing, it invites you to walk with it, and right now you're being invited to slow your reactions and strengthen your discernment. Listen to this. Discernment is not suspicion, it's clarity without emotional charge, and your heart needs this right now because you've spent too long trying to explain your feelings instead of honoring them. Don't scroll. Explanation drains energy, alignment restores it, and Archangel Michael's presence is about restoring your inner balance so your choices feel steady instead of conflicted. Listen to this. When balance returns, you stop oscillating between doubt and certainty, you simply know, and knowing doesn't need validation. Don't scroll. Validation seeking kept you entangled in dynamics that required constant self-sacrifice, but sacrifice without mutual respect is not love. Listen to this. Love that asks you to abandon yourself is a lesson, not a destination, and your heart needs this right now because you've already learned that lesson. Don't scroll. Lessons repeat only when they're ignored, and you're no longer ignoring, you're witnessing. Listen to this. Witnessing allows you to see patterns without being pulled into them, and that's growth. Don't scroll. Growth can feel unfamiliar because it changes how you relate to people, situations, and even your own thoughts. Listen to this. You may notice yourself responding differently, pausing where you once reacted, choosing silence where you once explained, and that shift is not coldness, it's clarity. Don't scroll. Clarity doesn't need to be defended, it simply stands. Listen to this. When you stop defending your boundaries, they become stronger, because they're rooted in self-trust rather than fear of reaction. Don't scroll. Self-trust is what Archangel Michael is reinforcing now, and your heart needs this right now because trusting yourself changes how life responds to you. Listen to this. Life mirrors the confidence you carry internally, and when that confidence is calm instead of reactive, the mirror softens too. Don't scroll. Softness is not weakness, it's stability. Listen to this. Stability is what allows you to walk away from situations that no longer align without resentment, guilt, or dramatic closure. Don't scroll. Closure doesn't always come from conversations, sometimes it comes from decisions. Listen to this. Deciding to protect your peace is closure enough, and your heart needs this right now because peace has been conditional for too long. Don't scroll. Conditional peace is exhausting, it requires constant adjustment of who you are, what you say, and how you feel. Listen to this. Unconditional peace begins when you stop negotiating your worth. Don't scroll. Worth is inherent, not earned through endurance. Listen to this. Endurance was survival, not destiny, and your destiny is not to carry emotional weight that isn't yours. Don't scroll. You may feel moments of sadness as you release old expectations, but sadness doesn't mean you're wrong, it means you're honest. Listen to this. Honesty creates space for genuine connection to enter. don't scroll. Genuine connection never asks you to shrink, it invites you to expand. Listen to this. Expansion feels lighter even when it's unfamiliar. And your heart needs this right now because heaviness was your signal to stop. Don't scroll. Stop doesn't mean stagnation, it means redirection. Listen to this. Redirection is divine intervention in motion, and Archangel Michael's guidance works quietly through intuition, timing, and emotional cues. Don't scroll. You might notice fewer arguments, fewer explanations, fewer emotional spikes, and more calm observation. Listen to this. Observation allows wisdom to surface. Don't scroll. Wisdom is what replaces emotional reactivity when healing integrates. Listen to this. Integration is when knowledge becomes instinct, when you no longer debate what feels wrong, you simply adjust course. Don't scroll. Adjusting course doesn't require drama, it requires commitment to your well-being. Listen to this. Commitment to yourself is the foundation of every healthy relationship you'll experience next. Don't scroll. Relationships that align with your growth will feel respectful, spacious, and consistent. Listen to this. Consistency feels boring to a nervous system used to chaos, but boring is often peace in disguise. Don't scroll. Peace allows your creativity, joy, and intuition to thrive. Listen to this. Thriving doesn't look loud, it looks stable. Don't scroll. Stability gives you clarity about who and what belongs in your life. Listen to this. Belonging is mutual, it doesn't require convincing, proving, or suffering. Don't scroll. Suffering was never a requirement for love, it was a misunderstanding born from old patterns. Listen to this. Those patterns are dissolving now, and dissolution can feel strange because the familiar tension is gone. Don't scroll. Absence of tension may feel empty at first, but emptiness is simply space waiting to be filled with alignment. Listen to this. Alignment arrives when you stop chasing and start allowing. Don't scroll. Allowing requires trust, and trust grows when you honor small intuitive nudges instead of overriding them. Listen to this. Every time you listen to yourself, trust strengthens. Don't scroll. Strengthened trust leads to confident decisions. Listen to this. Confident decisions shape your future gently but firmly. Don't scroll. Your future doesn't require urgency, it requires presence. Listen to this. Presence grounds you in the now, where clarity lives. Don't scroll. Stay right here. Listen to this carefully, because what you are entering now is the final deepening of understanding, not a warning anymore, but a knowing. And this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now because awareness without grounding can feel overwhelming, but awareness anchored in self-trust becomes peace. Don't scroll, because peace is what's beginning to take shape inside you now, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if it feels quiet compared to the emotional noise you once lived in. Listen to this. Quiet does not mean empty, it means safe. And your nervous system is finally learning what safety feels like without tension attached to it. Don't scroll. This is important, because when safety arrives without chaos, the mind sometimes tries to recreate old patterns just to feel something familiar. Listen to this. Familiarity is not truth, and your heart needs this right now because you're learning to choose truth over habit. Don't scroll. Habit kept you surviving, truth lets you live. Listen to this. Living doesn't always feel dramatic, it feels steady, grounded, and clear, and that clarity is what Archangel Michael has been guiding you toward from the very beginning of this message. Don't scroll. Guidance doesn't end when the warning ends, it evolves into wisdom you carry forward. Listen to this. Wisdom is knowing when to step back without needing justification, when to protect your energy without explaining yourself, and when to trust that peace is more valuable than being understood by everyone. Don't scroll. Being misunderstood by others is less painful than betraying yourself, and your heart needs this right now because self-betrayal is what drained you in the past. not the circumstances themselves. Listen to this, circumstances are neutral, it's how long we stay where we don't belong that causes harm. Don't scroll, staying too long teaches the soul lessons through exhaustion, but leaving at the right time teaches lessons through empowerment. Listen to this, empowerment doesn't shout, it settles in quietly when you stop doubting your instincts. Don't scroll, your instincts have sharpened because you're no longer seeking permission to feel what you feel. Listen to this, permission was never required, you were always allowed to protect yourself. Don't scroll, protection doesn't mean walls, it means boundaries with compassion. Listen to this, compassion without boundaries is self-neglect, and boundaries without compassion are fear, but you are learning balance now, and balance feels calm, deliberate, and intentional. Don't scroll, intentional living is what breaks generational patterns, emotional cycles, and relational habits that no longer serve your growth. Listen to this, you are not here to carry inherited pain, you are here to end it, and endings don't always come with dramatic exits, they often come with quiet decisions made repeatedly. Don't scroll, repeated choices create new realities. Listen to this, every time you choose rest over reaction, clarity over confusion, and self-respect over guilt, you reinforce a new pattern. Don't scroll, new patterns feel strange at first because your body is recalibrating to peace. Listen to this, recalibration can feel like boredom, loneliness, or even doubt, but those feelings pass as stability takes root. Don't scroll, stability allows your intuition to speak without interruption. Listen to this, intuition doesn't compete for attention, it waits patiently until the noise fades. Don't scroll, the noise has been fading, and that's why this message feels quieter but deeper than the first. Listen to this, depth is where lasting change happens, not surface-level motivation. Don't scroll, motivation fades, alignment remains. Listen to this, alignment doesn't require effort, it requires honesty, and honesty begins with admitting when something no longer fits, even if it once did. Don't scroll, outgrowing situations doesn't make you ungrateful, it makes you aware. Listen to this, awareness is evolution in motion, and evolution often requires leaving comfort zones built on compromise. Don't scroll, compromise that costs your peace is not balance, it's depletion. Listen to this, depletion was your signal to change direction, not to try harder. Don't scroll, trying harder keeps you stuck in cycles, choosing differently moves you forward. Listen to this, forward movement doesn't mean cutting people off abruptly, it means adjusting access to your energy thoughtfully. Don't scroll, thoughtful distance can heal more than emotional confrontation. Listen to this, healing doesn't require everyone's participation, it requires your commitment. Don't scroll, commitment to yourself creates internal safety, and internal safety changes how you show up everywhere else. Listen to this, when you feel safe inside, external situations lose their power over you. Don't scroll, power struggles dissolve when you stop participating in them. Listen to this, disengagement is not avoidance, it's wisdom. Don't scroll, wisdom chooses peace without apology. Listen to this, apology is only necessary when harm is caused, and protecting yourself is not harm. Don't scroll, your growth does not require you to suffer quietly. Listen to this, silence that protects your peace is sacred. Don't scroll, sacred choices feel heavy at first because they carry responsibility, but that weight turns into strength over time. Listen to this, strength doesn't harden you, it softens you, because you're no longer defensive. Don't scroll, defensiveness fades when clarity replaces confusion. Listen to this, clarity allows compassion to flow without self-sacrifice. Don't scroll, self-sacrifice was never your destiny, it was a phase of learning. Listen to this, learning ends when awareness becomes action. Don't scroll, action doesn't need to be visible to others to be powerful. Listen to this, Internal shifts create external changes effortlessly. Don't scroll. Effortlessly doesn't mean instantly, it means naturally. Listen to this. Natural alignment unfolds at the pace your nervous system can handle. Don't scroll. Forcing change recreates old stress. Allowing change builds trust. Listen to this. Trust is what Archangel Michael has been guiding you toward all along. Trust in yourself, trust in your timing, trust in your ability to discern what is no longer safe for your spirit. Don't scroll. Discernment is not judgment, it's clarity without emotional charge. Listen to this. Charge dissipates when you stop fighting your own knowing. Don't scroll. Knowing settles into confidence when honored consistently. Listen to this. Consistency is what creates peace that lasts. Don't scroll. Lasting peace is not fragile, it's resilient. Listen to this. Resilience doesn't come from enduring pain, it comes from choosing health. Don't scroll. Health is emotional, spiritual, and energetic, not just physical. Listen to this. Tending to your inner world transforms your outer world. Don't scroll. Transformation doesn't announce itself loudly, it shows up as calm where chaos once lived. Listen to this. If you feel calmer now than when you started listening, that's confirmation. Don't scroll. Confirmation doesn't require further proof, it requires trust. Listen to this. Trust yourself enough to move forward without dragging old patterns into new chapters. Don't scroll. Your new chapter doesn't need to repeat old lessons. Listen to this. Repetition ends when awareness stays present. Don't scroll. Stay present with what you've learned here, because what comes next will feel different. Not dramatic, not heavy, but clear, grounded, and safe. And that safety is the sign you've integrated the message fully and are ready to walk forward with peace guiding every step. Don't scroll. Stay right here with me until the very last breath of this message. Listen to this carefully, because what you're stepping into now is not another warning, it's the embodiment of everything you've already sensed but haven't fully trusted yet. And this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. Because there comes a moment in every awakening when the mind understands but the body still hesitates. And this is the moment where alignment moves from thought into action. Don't scroll. The universe doesn't ask you to leap, it asks you to place one steady foot forward while the other releases what no longer supports you, and that release is happening now, quietly, gently, without force. Listen to this. What's shifting isn't outside of you, it's inside the way you respond, the way you pause before engaging, the way you feel relief when you imagine choosing differently, and your heart needs this right now because relief is not avoidance, it's alignment confirming itself. Don't scroll. Alignment often feels subtle at first, like a calm after a long internal storm, and when storms pass, silence can feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar doesn't mean unsafe. Listen to this. Safety is what your nervous system recognizes when you no longer have to brace yourself emotionally, when your shoulders soften, when your breath deepens, and when your thoughts slow down instead of racing ahead. Don't scroll. You're not losing intensity, you're gaining clarity, and clarity is what allows your intuition to speak without being drowned out by fear, guilt, or obligation. Listen to this. Obligation has kept you saying yes when your soul said no, and your heart needs this right now because honoring yourself does not make you selfish, it makes you honest. Don't scroll. Honesty is what dissolves resentment before it hardens, and resentment was never anger toward others, it was grief for yourself. Listen to this. Grief surfaces when you realize how long you carried what wasn't yours, how often you silenced your needs to keep peace, how many times you adjusted instead of being met halfway. Don't scroll. Meeting halfway requires mutual awareness, and you are no longer willing to meet where awareness is absent. Listen to this. This is not judgment, it's discernment, and discernment does not argue, it observes and chooses accordingly. Don't scroll. Choosing accordingly means responding instead of reacting, stepping back instead of pushing through, and trusting the quiet voice that says this doesn't feel right anymore. Listen to this, that voice is not fear, it's wisdom matured through experience, and your heart needs this right now because wisdom becomes powerful only when it's trusted. Don't scroll. Trust isn't built by certainty, it's built by honoring small intuitive nudges over and over until they form a steady path beneath your feet. Listen to this, every time you pause instead of engaging automatically, you reclaim energy that was leaking into old dynamics. Don't scroll, energy reclaimed turns into presence, and presence changes how others interact with you without you saying a word. Listen to this, presence creates boundaries naturally, because when you are grounded, you are no longer easily pulled into emotional turbulence. Don't scroll, turbulence feeds on reaction, and reaction fades when awareness stands still. Listen to this, stillness is not passivity, it's strength rooted in self-trust, and your heart needs this right now because self-trust changes everything quietly but permanently. Don't scroll, permanent change doesn't announce itself, it integrates slowly, replacing anxiety with calm, urgency with patience, and confusion with knowing. Listen to this, knowing doesn't need to be explained, justified, or defended, it simply guides your next step. Don't scroll, the next step doesn't have to be dramatic, it can be as simple as choosing rest over overthinking, distance over entanglement, or silence over explanation. Listen to this, explanation drains energy when it's given to those who are not listening. Don't scroll, listening is reciprocal, and you're no longer responsible for being heard by people unwilling to hear. Listen to this, responsibility shifts inward now, toward protecting your peace consistently rather than managing others' reactions. Don't scroll, managing reactions was exhausting, and exhaustion was your signal to change direction. Listen to this, direction changes don't require confrontation, they require commitment. Don't scroll, commitment to yourself reshapes your life more effectively than any argument ever could. Listen to this, when you stop trying to convince others of your truth becomes stronger. Don't scroll, strength doesn't harden you, it softens you because you're no longer defensive. Listen to this, defensiveness was survival. Softness is safety returning. Don't scroll, safety allows joy to surface without guilt, creativity to flow without pressure, and connection to feel nourishing instead of draining. Listen to this, nourishing connections don't leave you questioning your worth or replaying conversations in your head at night. Don't scroll, peace after interaction is your new measure. Listen to this, measure relationships by how they make you feel afterward, not by how long they've existed. Don't scroll, history does not justify harm or discomfort, and longevity does not equal alignment. Listen to this, alignment feels respectful, calm, and mutual, and anything that consistently disrupts your inner peace deserves reevaluation. Don't scroll, reevaluation is not rejection, it's awareness in action. Listen to this, awareness in action transforms cycles into lessons completed. Don't scroll, completed lessons free space for new experiences that reflect your growth. Listen to this, growth doesn't isolate you, it refines your connections. Don't scroll, refined connections feel simpler, clearer, and more supportive. Listen to this, simplicity is a sign of healing, not stagnation. Don't scroll, complexity often masked imbalance, and imbalance required constant effort to maintain. Listen to this, you're no longer here to maintain imbalance, you're here to live in alignment. Don't scroll, alignment invites peace without negotiation. Listen to this, negotiation taught you to compromise your needs, alignment teaches you to honor them. Don't scroll, honoring your needs does not require permission. Listen to this, permission was never withheld, it was self-denied. Don't scroll, self-denial ends when self-respect begins. Listen to this, self-respect is quiet confidence, not arrogance. Don't scroll, confidence grounded in humility feels calm, not defensive. Listen to this, calm confidence dissolves manipulation, guilt, and pressure naturally. Don't scroll, pressure thrives on urgency, and you are no longer available for urgency that feels forced. Listen to this, what's meant for you does not rush you or confuse you. Don't scroll, confusion was your signal to pause, not push forward. Listen to this, pause creates space for clarity, and clarity invites trust. Don't scroll, trust stabilizes your decisions, even when others don't understand them. Listen to this, understanding is not required for alignment. Don't scroll, alignment is felt, not debated. Listen to this, if your body feels calmer, your breath deeper, and your mind quieter as you listen, that's confirmation. Don't scroll, confirmation doesn't demand further proof, it asks for consistency. Listen to this, consistency is the final key, choosing peace again and again until it becomes your default. Don't scroll, default peace transforms your life gently, steadily, without forcing change. Listen to this, forced change recreates old stress, allowed change builds trust. Don't scroll, trust in yourself is what carries you forward now. Listen to this, forward doesn't mean away from love, it means toward health. Don't scroll, health includes emotional safety, energetic clarity, and spiritual alignment. Listen to this, alignment feels like relief, and relief is your sign you're on the right path. Don't scroll, stay present with this knowing, because the moment you embody it, your life responds differently. Listen to this, what responds next will feel calmer, clearer, and more aligned than anything you've experienced before, and that's how you know this message wasn't meant to scare you, it was meant to prepare you, ground you, and guide you into a chapter where peace is not a reward you earn, but a state you live in, and if you stayed until now, it's because your awareness was ready, and that readiness is exactly what will carry you forward safely into what comes next. Don't scroll, stay with me all the way to the very end, because this is the moment everything you felt finally settles into truth, and listen to this. This message is for you and your heart needs this right now, not as a warning anymore, but as a confirmation that you've already done the hardest part by staying present, by listening instead of numbing, by choosing awareness over denial. And that choice is what changes your life from here on out. Don't scroll, because endings that matter don't arrive with chaos, they arrive with calm certainty, and what you're feeling now is not confusion. It's recognition, a deep inner nod that says yes, this makes sense, even if your mind can't explain every detail yet. Listen to this, explanations come later, alignment comes first. And alignment is what you're stepping into right now as your body relaxes and your spirit feels steadier than it has in a long time. Don't scroll, because the calm you feel isn't temporary, it's earned through awareness. And your heart needs this right now because awareness is the doorway to peace that doesn't collapse under pressure. Listen to this, peace that lasts doesn't require you to stay silent, to overextend, or to prove your worth, it simply asks you to honor yourself consistently, even when it feels uncomfortable at first. Don't scroll, discomfort at this stage is not danger, it's growth stretching into a new shape, and growth always feels strange before it feels natural. Listen to this, natural peace doesn't shout or beg for attention, it sits quietly and waits for you to trust it, and trusting it is the final step you're being invited to take now. Don't scroll, trust doesn't mean knowing every outcome, it means believing that honoring yourself will never lead you away from what's meant for you. Listen to this. What's meant for you does not require you to abandon your peace, your intuition, or your emotional safety, and your heart needs this right now because you've spent too long believing love had to hurt to be real. Don't scroll, love that harms is a lesson, not a destination, and you've already learned what you came to learn from that chapter. Listen to this, chapters end quietly when lessons are integrated, and integration is what's happening now as your reactions soften and your responses become intentional. Don't scroll. Intentional living changes everything without forcing anything, and that's why this ending feels gentle instead of dramatic. Listen to this: gentleness is not weakness, it's wisdom matured through experience. And wisdom no longer needs chaos to feel alive. Don't scroll. Chaos once felt familiar because it kept you alert, but alert is not alive. Alive is calm, grounded, and present. Listen to this: presence is what allows you to choose differently without guilt, fear, or urgency, and choosing differently is the quiet power you're reclaiming now. Don't scroll. Power reclaimed doesn't dominate, it stabilizes, and stability is what allows joy to surface without anxiety attached to it.